All right, let's talk about something we all know and, well, mostly get frustrated by: Wi-Fi. Specifically, we're going to look at the tech that's promising to finally put an end to all those Wi-Fi headaches. This is all about the next generation of connectivity, built for how we actually live our lives today. So let's jump right in. So let me ask you something. Does that little spinning wheel of death, the buffering circle, feel like it's just a permanent fixture on your screen? Or, hey, do you have that one room in your house where the Wi-Fi signal just goes to die? You know the one. Yeah, if you're nodding your head right now, trust me, you are not alone. It's just a simple fact. The way we live now, we're always on. We're hyper-connected. We've got dozens of devices all screaming for bandwidth at the same time. And our old tech, it just wasn't built for this. It's being pushed to its absolute breaking point. But here's the good news. There's a fix for this. A whole new generation of Wi-Fi is here, and it was literally designed from the ground up to solve every single one of those frustrations we just talked about. Okay, so before we dive into the cool new tech, let's get really clear on what we're up against. What are the biggest headaches we're all dealing with when it comes to our Wi-Fi? It pretty much boils down to this list, right? You've got your classic dead spots, where the signal just vanishes. Then there's network congestion. That's when everything slows to a crawl because everyone's online at once. Of course, the dreaded buffering, especially when you're trying to watch something in beautiful 8K. For gamers, it's that lag that completely ruins a match. And finally, it's just too many devices, all fighting for the same connection. All right, so let's talk about the solution. And at its core, it's a new standard that is an absolute game changer. We're talking about Wi-Fi 7. So what exactly is Wi-Fi 7? Well, in a nutshell, it's the next big step in wireless tech. And what makes it such a huge leap is how it works. Check this out. For the very first time, it can use multiple Wi-Fi bands, we're talking the 5 and 6 gigahertz bands, at the same time, for the same device. Think about it like this. Instead of being stuck in one lane on the highway, your data can now use 3 or 4 lanes all at once. That's how it delivers those crazy high speeds, handles way more traffic, and cuts down on that annoying delay we call latency. It's built for the busiest networks out there, plain and simple. So, just how much power are we talking about? Well, systems built on this new tech can handle internet plans with speeds that are just mind-blowing. We're talking up to 5 gigabits per second. Let me just say that again, 5 gigabits. That is just ridiculously fast. Okay, but what does a number like 5 Gbps really mean for you in your house? It means you got enough raw power to stream 8K video without a single stutter. It means you get those lightning-fast response times that pro gamers need to win. And it means you have enough bandwidth to handle hundreds, literally hundreds of devices all at once, and your network won't even break a sweat. But look, having a super fast car is useless if the roads are terrible, right? Insane speed is only half the battle. The other absolutely crucial piece of this puzzle is how you get that signal everywhere you need it. And that, my friends, is where mesh technology comes into play. You know the old way, right? You have one single router stuck in a corner, and it's a guarantee you're going to have dead spots. Mesh is totally different. You start with one main unit, and then you just add more nodes wherever you need them to expand your coverage. The magic is that they all talk to each other, creating this single, smart, seamless network that just blankets through a whole space in perfect Wi-Fi. And that's the intelligent part I was talking about. It's not just about having more boxes. There's some seriously sophisticated software running in the background. Things like this true mesh system, which is constantly, and I mean constantly, analyzing your network. It's automatically finding the fastest and most reliable path for your data to travel, making sure your connection is always, always optimized. You don't have to do a thing. So you see? The big takeaway here is that it's not just about having the fastest speed. It's about having a system that's smart enough to manage all the chaos of modern life. And that brings us to the next massive factor: capacity. Just look at that number for a second. Let it sink in. We're talking about a single system that can handle over 600 connected devices, all at once. I mean, think about what that actually means in your home. It's not just your phone and your laptop anymore, is it? It's the smart TVs, the security cameras, the speakers, the smart lights, the thermostat, your gaming console, your kid's tablet. The list just goes on and on. This is a network that's built to handle that kind of crazy, hyper-connected world without even flinching. And it gets even better. This thing can actually act as the central hub for your entire smart home. so it can talk directly to devices that use different protocols. Things like Thread, Zigbee, and that new universal one, Matter. What that means for you is you don't need a bunch of separate little hubs plugged in everywhere. It just simplifies the whole shebang. And of course, it works perfectly with assistants like Alexa.
Okay, so we get the tech now, but let's put it into context. How does a system like this actually stack up against other options out there?
This little chart here gives us a fantastic snapshot. Just look at the jump from Wi-Fi 6E to Wi-Fi 7. The network speed more than doubles, which is huge. But the real shocker is the number of devices it supports. It goes from about 100 to over 600. That's a massive difference. And, for anyone who needs the absolute peak of performance, there are even beefier options that push those numbers even higher.
All right, let's start to wrap this up by looking at two last things that are actually really important. First, how easy is this stuff to set up? And second, what's its impact on the environment?
Okay, so forget about those old days of spending hours messing with complicated network settings. The process now is, well, it's dead simple. You download the app, you plug the things in, and that's pretty much it. The smart software takes over and automatically tunes the network perfectly for your space. It's literally designed to just work. And then there's the sustainability side, which is pretty cool. There's a real focus here on lowering the environmental impact. For example, a whopping 62% of this particular device is made from recycled materials. We're talking 94% recycled aluminum and nearly 60% recycled plastics. That's pretty significant. They're also being really transparent about the total carbon footprints of the product. For a 3-pack system, it comes out to 899 kilograms of CO2 equivalent, which is just the standard way of measuring all greenhouse gas emissions combined. Having that kind of info right out in the open really helps people make more informed choices, which is always a good thing. And all of this kind of brings us to a final big picture question. When you look at everything we've talked about, the insane jump in speed, sure, but also the massive capacity, the smart software that runs itself, and even the focus on sustainability, it really makes you think, doesn't it? Maybe the future of being connected isn't just about being faster. Maybe it's about being smarter, more reliable, and way more capable of handling, well, everything. Something to chew on.